Welcome to the Lead Change Empowerment Podcast. I am your host, Steve Robinson, and guess what? You know it. I am super duper grateful for you, as always. Today is Monday, November the 14th, 2016. Hey, that means it's less than 50 days before we go into 2017. And we're not going to rush it. We're going to finish up this year strong, continue to work on what you're working on. The Lead Change Empowerment Podcast is here for that. We're helping you lead the change from where you are now to where you want to be. And hey, make sure that you are listening or you are liking and you are subscribing to us on iTunes, Spreaker, SoundCloud. Make sure you're hitting the like button. Make sure you are subscribing. Please leave a review. Make sure that you leave a review because you help us lead the change in ourselves and where we're going as well. And speaking of that, for today, today's a special day because, well, every day is a special day that you're alive. But today, since I'm talking about finishing up the year, going into the new year, we can't skip over Thanksgiving and Christmas or the holidays or however you celebrate your holidays. I celebrate Thanksgiving and Christmas. But, just getting ready for the new year and what it takes to achieve success. And today's guest would be Keith Robinson. Keith Robinson is my cousin. First and foremost, he's my cousin, but you will know him as an actor, a singer, a producer. Keith has been in everything from the Green Power Ranger to starring alongside Jennifer Hudson in Dreamgirls to the show American Dream. Now he's on Saints and Sinners. They're in their second season, Saints and Sinners on Bounce. Keith has done a lot of work. So today we're going to talk with him about achieving success and the things that you go through to achieve success and what you need to do to stay on point to get it. So let's dive right into that now. Welcome, Lead Changing Community. I have with me today a very special guest, Keith Robinson. Now, Keith Robinson, the actor, the singer, but this is my cousin. This is a real cousin. This is not like one of the cousins because you got the last name and you say it's your cousin. This is my real cousin. His dad and my late father were brothers, so that make us real cousins. How you doing today, fam?
I'm good, man. I'm blessed. How about yourself?
I'm doing super amazing, super amazing. I know we are working with time. You're a busy man with all the things you have going on, so I appreciate this.
Yeah, it's all good, man. My pleasure.
So to tell them a little bit about you, that those that don't know, but I mean everybody know who Keith Robinson is, from being the Power Ranger, the Green Power Ranger, being in the Fat Albert, the Dream Girls, being on the show The American Dream, Power Rangers, like I said, ER, everything else. But my song, though, now, because you're an artist as well, so my song is, Love Somebody. Now, that's real to
Right.
me. And even though
I appreciate it.
my daughter got mad, man, because I was trying to play it at a wedding and shit like that. We can't dance to that song. You can't play that song. But I was like, that's the song. So that's just a little bit about you, man. And the Lead Change Empowerment Show, what I do, Keith, is basically help people to lead the change from where they are now to where they're trying to be. And I bring on expert guests to be able to help people, to tell them some of the things they've been through, some of the struggles they face, and how they should change it. So,
Right.
so that's why I
Right.
got you here today.
Okay. I'm with it.
All right, so be it. So, let me get one of the first questions I want to ask you is, basically tell me a recent success story. Well, you got a lot of success stories, so tell me some things that you had to go through to get to that success story, to where you are.
Well, I think just from an artist standpoint, just a lot of reps as far as just honing my craft, which is always a continuous process. I kind of moved out to Hollywood with no idea of where I was going to start. I just knew I needed to be in a city where I could be connected with people who had the same vision as I did, or who could make it happen, who could help facilitate it. So I guess the initial success was just having the faith to just to step out of the boat and and gamble on yourself and believe that wherever you land, it'll definitely be a progressive step. So I think that's the biggest step in anything, especially when it comes down to the arts and being self-employed and having to sell yourself and your talents, is always being proactive about it and not letting the doubt supersede the faith, and just stepping out there and making it happen, and really not putting a time limit on it or a deadline on when you're supposed to be successful or get to a certain point, or get caught into comparing yourselves to other people and other people's lives and their careers, which is very easy to do with social media now.
Well, I think that's big, Keith, and I'm gonna take that quote and I'm gonna make sure that I put the doubt to supersede the faith. I always listen to people and always writing down quotes, so I'm gonna definitely take that
Right.
and put you out there with that one. But as you were
For sure.
saying about comparing yourself to people and you on the level that you're on, I mean, you're out there with all the stars and being a star yourself. That could become easy. So for those that's not there yet or working to get there, how does that look like to be able to say stop comparing yourself to other people?
How does it look?
Yeah, that process of saying like, you can't be worried about the next man or what Jamie Foxx may be doing or what other
Right.
actor you're around.
Right. I think if you just get really busy and focused on yourself, on your own purpose and your own talent, your own mission, you'll find that takes up more time. So you don't find yourself putting a lot of energy into looking to the left or looking to the right of what somebody else is doing. Uh, I think it's good to stay up on what's happening, but not to become obsessed with it.
Right.
Maybe put the phone down sometimes and get back to and remember why you started. And just know that whatever your career or your goal, whatever your mission is, that's your mission. So there's no specific time it should happen by now or should have happened by now. When you get into those comparisons, then you end up leading yourself down the wrong road. It's counterproductive
Right.
in
Right.
getting somewhere. So that's just with anything. It just that takes discipline,
Uh,
and that kind of separates those who succeed and those who watch others succeed.
that's very true, and I like that. I like what you said about that. And when you're talking about basically busy on yourself and focusing on the things that you need to do. So what's your process like? Cuz how was your process for the day? Say when you're trying to you hear about a new role coming up or however that works. What is the process that you take when you get ready to approach a new project?
You mean as far as trying out for the role or getting ready to shoot a character, to play a character?
To play a character.
Well, I think basically with the character, you kind of do as much research as you can on the character, on the if it's a show, kind of familiarizing yourself with the show, with the tone of the show. If it's a movie, familiarizing yourself with the script. The script becomes almost your Bible, so to speak, for that project and how you fit in it. And then when you get down to the brass tacks, the biggest thing I do is I compare the similarities and the differences of myself and the character that I'm playing,
Okay.
and try to play in between those with as creative approach as I can. That contributes to the story, and try to stay creative and imaginative and make it interesting and compelling, and also empathetic to those people who are going to be watching the character. Because
Hmm.
if people can identify with the character and put their plug and say, I know a guy like that, or I've been there before, then it makes you more compelling and more likable and more, well, not even likable because you're not trying to be likable, but more, just more compelling and watchable to the viewer.
That makes a lot of sense, and I think that can be transferred over into life, like you said, preparing for what it is that you're going into to take that same
Right.
approach. So that's good. I really like that. I do want to know this though. What's something that you struggle with that you want to change that you're working on to change for yourself?
I tend to be I tend to overthink things.
Okay.
I tend to dissect things and break things down. I tend to have to catch myself from not living in the moment. I'm always looking to the next moment, to the next gig, to get to the next rack, to the next level, and it still kind of is a reminder when people like yourself, when somebody reminds me and says that reminds me of my body of work or what I've done, because I'm never satisfied. I have an insatiable desire to keep going and getting to the next point. And I think that's good. In a sense, you have to catch yourself that gratitude is a
Mm-hmm.
key ingredient in your journey, and being grateful for how far God has brought you and how far, and where you're at. So I have to work on that specifically because I'm never fully engaged in the success, or I don't stay around for the after party.
Okay.
I'm headed to the next game basically in
I
my
like that. I like
so
that.
that's something that I kind of have to work on and check in on with on myself basically.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah, I'll stay around for the after party. Keep working on the next thing. That's very important, Keith. And what's I know that you like singing. I always do research before I talk to anybody, especially us being family as well. But I paid attention
Right.
to like how you like singing more than the acting part. So with that said, like, what's the new project? What do you have coming up next as far as that role with the singing and that's coming up, or any albums or whatever coming out?
Yeah, the new album is Love Episodic, and it'll be out in the top of the year. I've been kind of trying to gauge it and release it at the same time as the Tupac movie, but that date's kind of moving around. So I'm going to release it at the same time as the second season of Saints and Sinners comes out, which will be in late February, early March. But right now, I got a new single coming called Gold, which is off of the album, the follow up to Love Somebody, which will be out for the holidays. So you can kind of an appetizer, a club banger, something sexy for the clubs. Kind of something you wouldn't expect from me being a soul
Okay.
singer, just kind of something for the DJs, something four on the floor, something real sexy. So, and then I got a couple songs that we're working with in conjunction with the Tupac soundtrack, which I'm excited about. So it'll be a lot of music coming out the top of the year, first and second quarter of 2017. I just been really using this year to kind of prepare it and find the right songs. I've recorded a ton of songs this year, and I've kind of finally narrowed down to the best 12 that kind of display Love Episodic. So be on the lookout for a lot of music.
That's good. And we'll definitely want to do that. And I'm gonna put all the links in the show notes. And also,
Okay.
before we go, we're gonna definitely make sure that we get how everyone can get a hold of you, how they can follow you, where they
Yeah,
can get
yeah.
the music, and all of that. And I'm gonna ask you this: is there anything that you would do different?
Um, I might have moved out to LA to Hollywood a little bit earlier, to be honest with you.
Okay.
Uh, I feel like that's one side of it, but I might not have been mentally prepared to move out earlier. But I always think like, man, if I had started right out of high school, then maybe I would be uh, in a different place. But that's always speculation. I think everybody's journey is what their journey is.
Right. Right.
Um, anything different? It's hard to say because I think that you're as long as you're walking in your destiny, which I feel like I am.
Hmm.
Uh, everything is a part of it. So you can't really speculate on coulda, woulda, shouldas because it is what you are where you are for a reason.
That's what it is. And I believe that. I believe there's no coincidences, no mistakes. So we're glad that you took the route that you took and did it because if not, we would not be able to hear those songs or see you in those movies when we did. So we're definitely glad
So
of that. I'm super duper proud
thanks.
of you, cuz, like, as
Thank you,
always, I
man.
follow
You
you.
too, man.
I keep up with what you're doing, and it means a lot to keep showing it. So, like I said, being family and just being that you're a leader yourself. So, I really appreciate that. And
Likewise.
what I want to do is this. I want to. What you say you're working on now? We know what you're working on. A couple things. What books are you reading? Any books or anything right now? What's something that you recommend to read?
You know what? I just got through reading The Alchemist for a second time, which I think is a
Okay.
great book.
Oh yeah, The Alchemist is
Um,
one of my favorites.
The Four Agreements, which are kind of like my study books. The Bible, I'm always got my head in the Word at some point. And what's the other book? Oh, I've been kind of skimming over again the 48 Laws of Power, which I always
Okay.
kind of, for good or bad, it's good to kind of know and to kind of understand the basic principles and just trying to get to where you're going. So I think it's one of those key books you got to be aware of. So I think those are the most common books the books that are on the front runner for me, aside from somebody's script or something, which I'm always reading.
Yeah, I can understand that. Well, cuz I'm not gonna hold you too much longer, but I do want to ask you, how can I be of service to you? What is something that I can do to help you in whatever you're working on? How can I be of service to help you with whatever you got going on?
Man, I think just word of mouth, what you've been doing, man, the way you promote a lot of the stuff on Facebook and social media has been a blessing. It's been great. And just your prayers as well. And I think with you, just seeing you do your thing is encouraging to me as well. With we got the same last name, we come from the same tree, so it's good to know that it's in the DNA. So keep doing what you're doing because it's encouraging to me as well.
I appreciate it. I look forward to it. And my last question is I ask all of my guests is, how would you like your legacy to continue to lead change?
Wow, that's a big question. Um, how would I like it to lead change? I think I would want my body of work to speak to humanity in a way that makes people continue to evolve and be the best people that they can be.
Okay.
Sometimes that comes from reflection, from reflecting if I do or say or sing, or you see me in something that makes you reflect, something that makes you reach back out to a loved one, or get reconnected with your purpose, with your love, basically whatever that is through my craft. I think that's a viable contribution from the gifts that I've been given, is kind of making people kind of get reconnected and push towards their own. So I think that'd be the biggest thing I would want people to remember me from, me as a person and from my work.
That's powerful. That's powerful, cuz, and I appreciate that. So we definitely gonna end that on a great note. He said, get busy on yourself, make sure you're
That's right.
disciplined, and don't overthink. So you all heard that from the man himself, Mr.
Indeed.
Keith Robinson. Cuz, I
Indeed.
appreciate your time. It's been great.
Sure.
And to my listeners, as always, prayer, patience, progress in that order. You all have a super day. Wow is what I can say is wow to that time. And I appreciate Cousin Keith for coming on, spending the time with me to talk about achieving success. And really, it was a no brainer. As soon as I hit him up, asked him to come on the show, it was without question. He said, "Cuz, give me a time. Let's make it happen." But the three takeaways that really stood out for me was this: don't let doubt supersede your faith. Stay busy on yourself, get busy on yourself, and don't overthink everything. I tend to do those couple things a lot. Those things really hit me with the things that I do. So listen, don't let doubt supersede your faith. Get busy on yourself, and don't overthink. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to let you all have a treat of this Love Somebody, which is my favorite song, one of my favorite songs that he does. And you can get this on iTunes. So make sure that you follow KeithSings.com. You can reach Keith on all of his social media at www.keithsings.com. On Twitter, he's very active on Facebook. On Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. All of social media is KeithSings.com. So I'm going to let you all take that out. Love somebody. Of course, we're going to have prayer, patience, and progress, but love somebody.